Alright, this next game is a special treat. This is one of the rarest Game Gear games of all time. This is like a holy grail game, and not a lot of people know about it or have ever seen it. And if you're going for like a complete collection, this is one of the ones you got to track down. But it's Arena Maze of Death. See if it'll focus there. There we go. Like I said, this is one of the rarest Game Gear games, and it's a console exclusive. This is the only way to play it. So you're playing as some guy, and you're trying to infiltrate this building or company called Astralnet to broadcast a tape of the corporation's evil doings or something and reveal the truth to the rest of the world, I guess to make them rise up or something. And you can see it's like an isometric maze game, and you basically explore around to find key cards, you kill enemies while you're doing it. And I have to say, I would compare this, really, it's like an isometric Doom. Like the first Doom, it feels like that. These maze-like levels with enemies and, you know, key cards and, secret teleporters and stuff like that. And for a Game Gear game, it looks really great. You know, it has this grim and dystopian feel to it, and, you know, it really evokes like a Terminator 2 vibe, which is cool. And the music is tense and it's driving and it really helps keep up the energy, but the music's not very catchy. So it is a good looking package. However, the gameplay has some real issues with it, and it takes a little while to get the hang of the game flow. And it is pretty fun when you get into it, but let's talk about some of these issues. So, most of the enemies, after you kill them, they just respawn. Like, they'll respawn, not when you leave the room and come back, but like, maybe 2 seconds later. And that's really frustrating because your ammunition and your resources are limited. And you are constantly backtracking through these levels. I mean, you'll have to run to one side to hit a switch to open a door on the other, and then it takes you to a place where you have to get a key card to run back to the other side of the map, and then you go in a door there and hit a switch and you run back and forth. And the basic enemies take like, 5 shots to kill, and their bullets are so fast that they're basically unavoidable. You need to know that the enemy's already going to be there, and just like the second 1 pixel of them appears on the screen, you dodge. You just move out of the way. Also, this game has some really tricky platforming on like moving rafts and some conveyor belts and stuff. And when you fall off, it's just instant death. And lives are limited in this. And there's some place where you have to make these jumps to advance, and they can be really, really tricky. Fortunately, the game does give you a password system, but it's for like every 4 stages. So I think in the game, which is 16 or 20 levels or so, you get like 4 passwords total, which is not enough. It needs one for every stage. While I was really getting into the swing of this game, I got where I was pretty good at it, but the final stages are way, 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 way too long and unfair. And the final stage, especially where you're like going through the corporate tower, it introduces like elevators, and you have to take elevators up multiple floors and hit switches on that floor to go down to the basement, to like turn a knob, to go up to the 3rd floor. And there's multiple elevators in different locations, and they don't go up to the same floors, they don't go up to the same areas of floors. So like if you go to the north elevator and you go up to the 3rd floor, you can only access the north side of the 3rd floor. So if you want to access the south side of the 3rd floor, you have to go to the other elevator on the south side of the building. But the problem is, there's nothing indicating that you have to do that. So you're just wandering around aimlessly forever with infinitely respawning enemies, but limited ammo. You don't have infinite ammo, and if you use up all the ammo that they provide, noted that you need to find and search for all this hidden ammo, right? It's not just laying out in the open usually. You can run out really quickly. And I have to say, the game really, in general, just gets less fun the more you play. It's designed to be played over and over and over again, so you can memorize everything. And I don't know that it's well suited to that. This feels more like, I don't want to memorize like mazes. I like to memorize where the enemies are and stuff, but I want to explore. That's the whole point of mazes. That's the draw of a maze, is to explore, right? Not just like know how to solve it immediately. So I feel like they're kind of like shooting themselves in the foot, or the designers are. I played this game halfway through and was able to do fairly well at that. And then after that, it was just too much. And I was getting tired of playing the same levels. Like, I had the password to get halfway through the game, but then I would play like 2 more stages, which can take 15 or 20 or 30 minutes each. And then I'd die, and I didn't want to redo those other stages again. So I cheated, guys. I used save states to get done with this game, just for you guys. I probably could have beaten it if I used like a walkthrough or something like that, or just had like 100 hours. But honestly, I didn't feel like it was worth putting in the 100 hours into it. It's frustrating. It's very difficult. It's fun in small doses. But the 20 levels are a bit much, and those last levels are way too long. So it's not a perfect game, even if it is rare and valuable. So how is the Holy Grail game on the Game Gear, Arena Maze of Death? Man, focus. Do it. Do it. Focus. There we go. It's focusing on like the guy's face on the cart instead of like the letters that you want to read. It's fine. I'd say it's like a 6 out of 10. Good. If you're collecting for the Game Gear, you got to have it. And I've never really played a game like this on any other handheld. It looks pretty amazing, but it's just too tough and too long. So it's good. It's a 6 out of 10. It's a little bit better than mediocre, but not like a great game. Try it if you're able to pick it up somewhere cheap, but you won't ever find it anywhere cheap. You won't ever find it. I only came across it because I bought like an entire Game Gear collection from this woman who had almost finished the set. So